Hi everybody, Beth here. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Work From Home Mama. This video is going to be about my cake business and some tips that I have for you if you're considering getting into the cake world and starting a business from home. I have a few things that I do regularly at home. Cake business, obviously. I resell used clothing on the Poshmark app, resell used books on Amazon FBA, and I teach ESL to Chinese students online. So again, this video is about cake, and um, I just wanted to kind of share some things that I think would be really helpful if you're just starting out or you're thinking about starting a business. Um, just to give you a little background about my business, I live in a really small town in northern New Hampshire. I grew up here, so that's good. I have some connections as far as people knowing who I am. Um, my mom also started an at-home cake business when I was in like high school, and she didn't have it for very long, but she taught me a lot, especially about running the business and stuff. And I just decided I wanted to stay home and I wanted to give it a try. Um, I have been officially in business for just shy of 2 years. February 9th will be my second anniversary of opening my business. And I have learned so much. And so I'd love to share um, tips and tricks and just experience with anyone who wants to learn more. So again, this video is about, I don't know, I have 5 things written down, but I might ramble. So 5+ things that you should try out before you start your business. So the first thing is um, community. So community is going to be what supports you. People, it's a it's a location thing. So your customers are going to be people that live nearby, within distance of being willing to come pick up a cake or cupcakes. So the best thing to do is to make some stuff and give it away for free to businesses. So number one, that helps you practice, because before you get started, you want to have some practice under your belt. um, these are skills that can be learned. I've obviously, with anything else, there is inherent skill that exists. But if you don't have that, which I'm not sure that I do, you can still be successful, but you need to work hard and really practice. And you don't want to be putting anything out there that you're not confident with. So this part, yes, you're investing a little money in ingredients and time and everything, but it's the best thing that you can do. If there's one thing on this list that I can recommend, it's to do that. So, yeah, it kind of gets your hands dirty as far as actually trying out different techniques and what you like. And it also is advertising. So if you drop them off to the bank, all those people, they're going to put them in the break room. Maybe if you have a card, put the card with it, and there, boom, all those people not only see what your product is like, but they taste it too, and they'll keep you in mind. Um, Also, people really appreciate free cake. I mean, especially at work. So the places I've brought, they've been really surprised, like, oh my gosh, you're just bringing this by for free. So that's a plus on your side. Yeah, and again, in the cake world, there's so many trends and techniques that are always changing and evolving and becoming popular that you want to keep up with. Especially the basics, you want to have a firm grasp on that. So these are ways that you can try things out. You're not promising anybody anything. So if you try something out and it's just a complete flop, you have some cake to eat and you don't have to bring it to people. Nobody's expecting it. Whereas if it's an order, they're expecting something, a result. So that pressure is gone, which is nice. Um, Going along with that, you really want to do research about your recipes and decide what you want to offer. So, whether that's from scratch, whether it's a doctored mix, there's a lot of controversy about both of them. I'm not ashamed to say that for most of my cakes, I do doctored mix. I have a few reasons for that, which I will probably do a second video about. Um, but I make all my frosting from scratch too. So I kind of followed what my mom used to do as far as the cake recipes, and frosting for the first year, and then which was American buttercream. And then I discovered Swiss meringue buttercream. I followed a lot of people on Instagram. All the big time people were using Swiss meringue, and I thought there must be a reason. It's much uh, more of an intermediate level beast. So it definitely takes some practice. It was a long time before I started offering it professionally, like as an option with orders. But I also it was tough because I had a lot of repeat customers, which is great, but they were used to my American buttercream. And there are a few reasons why I had stopped making that I'll talk about in my video too. Um, but some people didn't like the new frosting, and I kind of had to. I make some exceptions for some people where I'll make American buttercream every once in a while because that's what they like. But most people are fine with the switch or like it better. Most people do like it better. So I guess what I'm trying to say is making that switch halfway through my business was pretty tough. And so if you can decide on what you want to offer, then people know the taste of your cakes and cupcakes and frosting. And that's what's going to keep them coming back. So luckily, I've had a lot of support with that, and people love the frosting, but it could have been kind of a killer for me. So it was definitely a leap of faith. Um, yeah, okay, so another thing you can do when you get started is start a Facebook page. Um, I don't have a professional website. I've looked into things, but honestly, it's not an expense that I'm ready to take on. And because my customers are local, it makes much more sense for me to advertise on Facebook where I'm connected to all of them anyway. Again, it's a location thing. So if I have a big fancy website, people that don't live around here that may see it, it doesn't really bring me much business unless I'm um, doing products that I can somehow send to people. So I've always just stuck with a Facebook page, and I've really done well from that. And so I would start there if you're on Facebook. It gets the word out really quickly. Another thing is you post your pictures, so you basically have a portfolio of your work that people can see. And it's really nice when somebody sees something that you've done in the past, so you know how to do it, and they order that. So it's like a piece of cake because you've already done it. So it's not something daunting. It's not a brand new thing. So I would start a Facebook page, and not only would I post pictures of things that you decide to bring to the community and mention that you bring it to the community. Um, real quick, for example, what I mean by that is I did like a community appreciation day, and I think it was like Community Appreciation Day. I didn't make it up. That's what it was. And so I made some cupcake bouquets, and I brought them to the emergency department at the hospital for all the nurses and doctors, and I brought them to the emergency services station, so like the EMTs and medics and stuff. And so I got a lot of feedback from that. People were really happy, and it was also something that people appreciated. So I'm not saying do it for the credit, but it's not a bad thing that people thought it was nice that I did that. Okay, the other thing is you can hold contests, so people get into contests. I right now I'm on maternity leave, so I'm not really active on my Facebook page. I'm still kind of posting things here and there to stay in touch with my customers, but um, I usually do like a monthly. It turns out to be about monthly that I do a contest. So I'll make something, and I'll make it strategic where people have to share it or like it or something that will get my page in front of eyes that are not subscribed to my page or haven't liked my page, and it brings in followers. Um, so things like that. Plus, it gets your product out there, and again, it's free. People love that. So that's something else that you can do. In addition, once you get something that you're really proud of and that you're confident about the taste and the look of, you can just do a few contests of that. When I started out with new cupcake bouquets, when I started offering that product, I posted the sizes that I was going to offer and the prices, and then I made one of each size so that people could see, and I did a contest, and I delivered each size to people so they saw what what the options were. It got it out there in the community, and yeah, it got me some practice. So it was a great experience. Yeah, so definitely do that. Another thing that goes along with everything so far is one thing that you do want to invest in is you want to invest in a graphic designer. So this is not something that I did um, probably for the first year again. My mom had made a uh, a logo because she moved away and she was going to start another business where she lives now, but then she decided not to. But she had gotten in touch with a graphic designer and had um, a logo. And so I asked her if I could just use it because I was it. Her first name is included in my business name, so it worked out. So I didn't have to pay for it. Obviously, she just gave it to me, and I used that for the first year. And then I started thinking I wanted something of my own, something that kind of represented my business and what I offer. Um, and so I looked into a graphic designer on Etsy, and there are some really good entrepreneur packages they have on there. So for a set price, you can get like the logo design and with as many edits as you want until you find what you want. And then I think I got like they made me thank you cards, business cards. They made me a banner for my Facebook page. Um, they do a bunch of stuff. Oh, a watermark that I could put on my pictures. So there's like a whole list of things that I could choose, like 4 things that they could do for me. It is a little pricey, but I can't remember how much I paid. I think it was like $150 or something. But I love my logo. I look much more professional now, and it sets me apart. This is something that I wish I'd done in the beginning, though. But it's another thing that you're just kind of like you don't want to invest too much money right off the bat. You have to be careful. But I think this is something that you should invest in because you just want to be professional from the beginning. You don't want to be like changing my logo again was something that I had good support over, but it could have been a killer. Like making these big changes in my business um, was risky, but I didn't really have much of a choice just because I was a little too cautious in the beginning, I think. Um, okay, so we've talked about bringing stuff out into the community, um, getting in touch with a graphic designer. Um, Etsy's a great place to look, and they usually have like a portfolio that you can flip through and see what they've done. Um, but there are places online that you can just get a logo, like you don't have to get a package. Um, so contests and Facebook pages, um, your recipes, and the last thing I would say is join Facebook groups. And again, I know this is a lot of Facebook, but even if you're not on Facebook personally, I think it's really important to get on for the sake of your business. There are so many cake decorating um, groups that you can join. So people that have storefronts, all the way to people who just started at their home. People post what they do, but they also post like, why is this melting? Why isn't this working? How do I support this? It's just really, really, really helpful with prices, like what should I charge for this kind of thing. And it's just really fun to connect and network with people. I have a lot of cake buddies that are over in the UK, and so everybody shares recipes. It's one of the best resources, free resources out there for sure. So yeah, if you're not on Facebook, I would say get on Facebook, make a Facebook business page, and join other groups. There are a whole bunch of great groups. If you just type in cake, you'll find a whole bunch. So I've learned so much information just following those pages and seeing people post everything. So the last thing that I would say is don't beat yourself up. This is not going to be an easy process. It's going to be an uphill battle, and it's just going to be about how much you want it. To be honest, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have people order things that you're not all that proud of going out. It's just going to happen. You as you learn more skills, it's going to be tough in the beginning because it's all learning. But the more that you can practice before giving something that someone's paying for, the better. So again, use all these techniques to practice and advertise, and see if it's something that you want to dive into. Don't commit until you feel like it's something that you're willing to take on. And again, don't beat yourself up if you try something and it just comes out like a fail on Pinterest. Like just keep practicing if it's something that's important to you. And you can do this. You really can. It's something that's very rewarding. It's so much fun to see a little kid's face light up when they come pick up their birthday cake, or to know that you were part of somebody's special day and you made their wedding cake or cupcakes or something. It's just such an honor, and definitely rewarding. So, yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know below. I'd love to help as much as I can. Again, I've only been in business for 2 years, but I've learned a lot in those 2 years, and I would love to help in any way that I can. So, um, yeah, just let me know below. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to do some other videos related to cake, about like tools that I can't live without, things that you should, maybe like online courses that you should invest in or not, like what's worth the money and things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely subscribe and hit the little bell, because it'll just pop up a notification when I post something new. So thank you so much for tuning in, and happy caking. Thanks. Bye.